Alright friends, it's T-Man and I'm back with a new video. And JasonBlaha, the lifting gym recruiting lifting slave, is going to give us a history lesson today. Oh my god, look at this snug look on his face, man. He thinks he knows something. Nobody on this planet knows anything. That's why you're on this planet. If you knew something, you'd leave. Alright, let's see what Blaha has to say. Ancient Greece and the history of progressive overload. Oh, ancient Greece and the history of progressive overload. Does he even know what that is, what it does exactly, what it really means? Well, let's see if he does or doesn't.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals, give you a little bit of a history lesson. Let me give you a forearm shot first. Forearms are on point.
Damn, he's giving us a forearm shot. It's on point, bro.
Let's talk about this. I want to do a couple videos on this over the next few months because this is a topic I used to cover in the past, and it's such a fun little history fact that all lifters should know. And what I'm seeing a younger generation.
Oh, really? All lifters should know this, eh? Okay. All lifters should know this.
Of lifters coming in. I mean, I'm even getting clients who are planning to be watching me a little while. They're like 20 years old and stuff. So these are guys, they don't know the full history of the lifting world, the guys and gals both. And I think it would...
The full history of the lifting world. They could make it up. Get it? They could make it up. Could be fake. You don't know.
Be just fun to remind people of this stuff.
Remember, lifting is artificial. Is something you're doing artificially. It's not something natural, be found in nature. Exercise doesn't exist out there.
So when we talk about this whole idea of progressive overload or progressive workload for gaining muscle and gaining strength, this is
okay, that's considered an adaptation. But how does your body adapt to progressive overload? That is the question you want to ask yourself. You want to know the truth.
An ancient idea that was documented as far back as 3,000 years ago, okay? This is an old idea. So when you think of these ancient Greeks, you think of Aristotle, Socrates, these people, because they oftentimes had an interest in fitness. They knew about progressive overload.
Feels like a dream, feels like life.
Overload. They wrote about it.
They did. They knew about progressive overload. They wrote about it. They didn't know anything about progressive overload, you idiot. Men, they saw something. Somebody carried something, and then they noticed something. Maybe they gained some weight, or they got stronger at carrying heavy stuff on their back. They marched them up and down a hill or whatever, with like the Roman Empire. They marched them with heavy shit on their back, up and down hills for miles. Or threw them in cold water. They did a bunch of stuff, or made them stick a pole with a sword millions of times over and over again. A whole bunch of weird stuff, man. I don't know. They carried heavy stuff around, okay. And then they noticed that there was some size there. But what is that size exactly? Is it from eccentric exercises, or is it from walking around with a heavy weight on your back? What's this size equate to?
And again, this is where the Olympic Games come from, right? You go back to ancient Greece, this is the origin of the Olympic Games that we have around the world. So, I mean, what they figured out back then about sports and sports performance is really culturally and historically relevant. You know, at least as far as this part of the world, obviously there could be very different histories going back into the Far East and other places that maybe I and a lot of lifters are not aware of, and I'd like to see if there's stuff out there that maybe we aren't aware of, but this is the stuff that we do know. So as far as the records that most of us have access to, this was talked about in ancient Greece. And the first account of this goes back to the story of Milo of Croton. Or for many of you may have
Milo of Croton, yes.
Heard of Milo and the Bull. So here's how it goes.
Yes, Milo and the Bull. Okay. Have you seen how big a bull can get, how heavy? Man, they can weigh over a ton or something, okay?
This is what was documented in the story and the legend, and this is supposed to be documented history, you know, and when you think about it, it's not unbelievable. Like modern experts have looked at it even in sports science and looked at...
What's not unbelievable?
at it and said, actually, it's possible that this very much is very possibly a true story. That it's biologically possible when you go back and you look at the size of bulls back then. So here's how it goes. Milo was known at the time, at least in the known world to the ancient Greeks, as basically the strongest man in the world, or at the very least the strongest man.
The strongest man in the world. This is such bullshit, man. What an idiot.
Known of in Greece. He was a famous wrestler and strong man who was known for his feats of strength.
No, he wasn't. He was known for his feats of practiced strength. Whatever he practiced at, okay? He was good at practicing at that, you fool. Look at this fool laughing. Nobody on this planet is good at doing anything unless they practice at it, okay? Shut the fuck up.
His feat of strength was that one of the ones that he was, that he could lift a bull.
Yeah, you want to know what his feat of strength was, that he could lift a bull. You want to know what that fucking feat of strength is based on, dude? You want to know what it's fucking based on? I'll tell you what it's fucking based on. I'll show you what it's fucking based on. Because this fool, he's not going to tell you what it's based on. There's an adaptation process when you lift heavy stuff, okay? And one of them is an androgen receptor. They're proteins. This is where shit binds to it in the protein. So myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. See that? The mass of the limb muscles. This controls the strength, gives you maximum force production, because they've done tests on it, and this is just one. There's so much shit on it, man. This is just one thing. PubMed, okay? So what is this? This is a chemical strength binding to a receptor, okay? It's chemical strength. Let's just put it this way. It's chemical strength, okay? That usually happens with everybody. Shit, I don't know where the other one went. I had another one here. Damn. I had a much better one here. Okay. Anyway. So, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is what? Is the increase in the volume of the sarcoplasm within the muscle fiber. So what is this? What is this mass? See, that didn't control the mass, but what is this mass? Well, this guy's carrying a bull on his back, right? He's carrying a bull. It's energy. It's an energy source. So it's a type of hypertrophy, okay? It's the increase in volume of the sarcoplasm within the muscle fiber, which increases its size. Remember that the sarcoplasm is everything in the muscle fiber that is not myofibrillar, get it? Myofibrillar hypertrophy increases the number of myofibrillars within the muscle fiber, which increases what? Its size. That's what it does. So, does sarcoplasmic hypertrophy build muscle? During the workout, more fluid moves into the muscles to provide what? Energy. It's an energy source. That's what you're doing. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy refers to the increase in volume of this fluid. It can make muscles appear larger, but it does not increase strength. See that? So it's a type of artificial muscle growth. Artificial because it's not real. So just because he got bigger, let's say he lifted this bull and he got more of this energy. Let's say the sarcoplasm increased in size to add more energy because he's moving around. You need energy plus these androgen receptors for that force production. So it's really practice strength. This is based on any real strength. He isn't really strong. Myofibrillars make you strong if you could get more myofibrillars. But they're really hard to get because they're protected by something. And you can only get them through an increase in this nuclear, whatever, domain and a whole bunch of stuff, bro. It has to be through muscle damage, okay? Has to be through muscle damage. Yeah. Muscles damage, and then they repair and remodel, and you get more of these myofibrillars. That's what you do. They can get longer, you can get more of them, and they can get thicker doing this process. So, but they're protected from any more muscle damage. Why? Because it's a repeated bout effect. So there's something out there called repeated bout effect. So the first time you come into the gym, you lift weights, you get this damage. You may get delayed onset muscle soreness and a whole bunch of stuff. But if you come back and you try to hit it with a repeated bout, well, it's protected now. It says the repeated bout effect refers to the adaptation whereby a single bout of eccentric exercise protects against muscle damage from subsequent eccentric bouts. But remember, these are eccentric bouts. This guy's not performing eccentric bouts, muscle damage, to get myofibrillar growth, because that's what it's associated with. Get it? Look, eccentric exercise is associated with muscle damage, and I don't know how to put this. It's associated with muscle damage and myofibrillar growth. When compared to isometric, eccentric contractions are known to cause significant greater magnitude of damage, and then there's more increase in muscle size. This difference in the response with different types of contractions seems to be related to... He's not doing any contractions there. He's not getting that. So yeah, I don't know what Blaha is talking about, man, but whatever. You get the point, the gist.
He could lift a bull. Now, a lot of people say, okay.
He could lift a bull. He can't lift a bull. He progressively overloaded with, they say he overloaded with a baby bull. That would give you an adaptation in what? Androgen receptors and these motor units. Man, I can pop up motor unit too. You can, man, you don't have to be so lazy. You can type it up in Google. There's PubMed, NCBI will tell you about the proliferation of motor units, okay? That's what happens. There's a proliferation of motor units. That's based on the CNS. And then you get androgen receptors for that force production, okay? But the androgen receptor, the androgens bind to those receptors also, aiding in muscle growth. That's if there's something fucking damaged to build. But he ain't damaging anything if he's just walking with a bull on his back. And any size that he got on his body, if he got any size, that's due to an energy source called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which honestly I really doubt he got a much size on his frame. If anything, he probably just got more force production. So you get these strong guys. I got a stronger, but I didn't get a bigger. You didn't get a bigger because a stronger doesn't get you bigger. Get it? An androgen receptor getting stronger doesn't get you bigger. See what I mean? So this Croton, whatever this dude is, they always show him in pictures as if he got big because he walked around with a bull. Yeah, what do you call it? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is still built on pumping. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water drawn between skin and muscle into the muscle. It's an energy source. You have to be moving to pump that sarcoplasmic shit into your muscle. Get it? That glycogen in your muscle to create these phony muscles. So he couldn't have gotten that. So his body didn't get bigger through that. Okay, I don't know how much he was eating or how much protein or what the fuck he was doing there. Well, eccentric exercise are associated with muscle damage. That's associated with myofibrillar growth. But I don't know anybody getting any myofibrillars, getting big myofibrillars, fucking walking with a bull on their back. Now, is there a disruption to the cells walking for miles with something on your back? Like, I mean walking for miles. Yeah, there's possibly a disruption to the cell. I don't know. And it may accumulate more of these cells. You understand me? Adding to the mass of the myofibrillar. That's a possibility. So I can't tell you he got mass just because he lifted a bull. That's why people lift heavy weights and they can't figure out why they're not getting bigger. I'm a little strong guy, but I'm not getting bigger. I got a stronger, but I didn't get a bigger. See what I mean? You understand me? They got a stronger. They got better at lifting because they got this phony strength. It's based on an adaptation process.
Come on, this is silly. But it's not. So Milo got this idea in his head, this idea of small progressive overload.
Milo got this idea to increase artificial strength induced through chemical strength. Androgen receptors, which are proteins, they build up on the myofibrillars, and the hormones have somewhere to bind, giving you more force production. So what is that? It's artificial. Okay, it's artificial. It isn't based on your natural strength, because now you're doing something unnatural. You're walking with a bull on your back. Is that natural? No, that's unnatural. So what would your body do? It would adapt. Okay, you live in a valley where there's normal oxygen, right? Okay, you go up in the mountains. It's unnatural to live up in the mountains. It's unnatural to go up there. So your body has to do what? It has to adapt to the low oxygen that's up there. You understand me? It has to do something. Okay, you're injecting yourself, or you're smoking drugs, or you're drinking alcohol. What does that have to do? It's perhaps to protect itself. Again, everything is a protection. It's a protective mechanism, how it works. It's not going to build muscles magically. It's got to carry you through a famine. So it's going to build up a whole bunch of muscles in you just because you walked around with a bull. It's not going to do nothing. It's going to give you some phony strength. That's about it.
He thought, you know, if I get a bull calf, I bet you if I lift it every single day and the weight goes up really slowly that I will get...
But he didn't lift the bull calf every day. He walked around with the bull calf apparently on his shoulders, on his back. That's what he did. But why would anybody walk with a bull calf on their shoulders all over the place? See what I mean? Well, they must have discovered it. He must have discovered it. I mean, in Rome, people would run around with these backpacks, heavy weight on their back, and they would run for miles, these soldiers, okay, to condition them.
Strong in proportion to how much weight this bull goat gains, and I will, when it's grown, I'll be able to lift the whole bull. So he set out on this task, and so what Milo did, he got a little baby bull calf, and he started putting it on his shoulders, right? Putting it on his shoulders, walking around.
Man, fucking Blaha is such an idiot.
With it. Now, for saying anyone says a poor bull, no, the bull was used to it. I mean, it was probably well cared for, the bull was pretty tame at this point because it was used to a human picking it up and carrying it around every day. This was normal for it. It was its everyday life. And then it probably got...
It was normal for him? It was his everyday life. Man, Blaha's nuts.
Bed and everything else, so it was cool. But he used to walk around with the bull on his shoulders and walk around through town with this little baby bull on his shoulders. You know, which again, he was a big, strong wrestler and famous as an athlete, so this was probably quite a spectacle. So you can imagine, you know, not every day you see someone walking around with a bull calf across their shoulders.
Oh, this is such gaga shit, man. This is cringe, bro. I'm telling you. Humans are one of the weakest animals on the planet. Apes are stronger than humans. Fucking everything is stronger than humans. Even ants can lift 10 times their body weight, and humans can't, because ants are made up of 75% muscle. And what are humans made up of? 40%. Do you understand me? Even tigers, lions, elephants, fuck everything, giraffes, you name it, horses. Fucking man, everything out there is stronger than humans.
Bull is getting bigger. So what he did this every single day. He got up, squatted the bull up, got under the bull, squatted it up, walked around with it across his shoulders in the town, and for sometimes reasonable distances, like we would think of today.
Think about it. Why are we so good at running very, very, very long distances, but a good majority of animals out there, they can't run long distances. They're good at sprinting. They're great at sprints. Not that we're bad at sprints. We're great at sprints, but we're great at long distance running. We can do marathons. We can run and run forever. You understand me? But these animals, we can outrun them. They can't. Why can't they? Because they're massive. They carry a lot of myofibulars. They carry a lot of muscle. See what I mean? For long distance running, you don't want to carry a hell of a lot of muscle on your body. You understand? So, yeah. It's going to be hard to really max that out.
It's a yoke walk, right, in a strongman event. So he did this all the time.
We have to survive and be carried through a famine.
And he did this for a couple of years. And as you can imagine, the bull got bigger and bigger and bigger because it was a baby, and so it's going to grow.
Okay, it's a baby, it's going to grow, it got bigger and bigger, and what? What about it got bigger?
And eventually, because he had done it every day and he had built his strength up progressively, what do you think happened?
He built, see, what did he build? What did he build? He built up his strength. Yeah, what strength? It's not tangible, it's not natural strength, it's artificial strength. He increased artificial strength, okay? His androgen receptors, motor units, whatever. Yeah, man. Okay, and?
Jackpot City is the home.
He was able to get under the bull, lift the whole bull. Now you'll see sometimes you see potteries or images of him overhead pressing it. We don't think that's the case, but he got under the bull and would lift it up and he could walk with it at least a little distance. Once it was fully grown, because he had done this for longer distances when it was younger, and just as it gained weight, he got bigger and stronger underneath the weight of this bull. To where, again, because it was such a small amount, we would have...
He got bigger and stronger under this bull. Yeah, it got a gravitational loading. and then that would increase the androgen receptors. It's an adaptation process. If you were to load stuff on your body, like, you know, it's gravitation, right? It's gravitational loading, a lot of it on your body. Definitely your body at some point will expand. Of course, has to accommodate. It can expand, right? To accommodate. Okay. It expands to accommodate a little bit. And, well, it increases the androgen receptors for force production, making it easier on your body. It's the whole point. So you don't die in pain.
Assume it was less than a pound a day because it took this bull a couple of years to grow. And realistically speaking, people have noted bulls of that era in that part of the world, they're not the selectively bred bulls that we have today. Okay? It's not what you're thinking of. So it's not like a 2,000 pound Charolais bull or something. We've selectively bred bulls to be much bigger in the modern world. They were only 400, maybe at most 500 pounds. Well, it's not unreasonable that one of the strongest men in the world, strongest man in Greece at the time, could do a yoke walk with 500 pounds. People do it with more than that today. I've seen guys do 900,000 pounds personally that I've witnessed. So, is it unreasonable? No, it's not.
900,000 pounds? What did he say? Did he just say he saw somebody with 900,000 pounds? Are they walking with that dude?
But it also proved the point of progressive overload. So there you have Milo, and he became a legend because he did this, and everyone witnessed him, and all these people, because thousands of people over time.
Are you saying that nobody else could do that, Blaha? They couldn't walk around with a bull on their back and do the same thing and repeat the same thing he did? He was special, yes? He was special. Man, there's no a human on this planet that is special. Everybody's body works the same, and everybody could do the exact same thing, okay? Everybody could do it. Go out and practice. If you want to do that, go out and practice and do it, okay? You have to practice at being good at doing any of these things because you're not strong at doing them. Whether it's biking, skateboarding, I don't know, swimming, fucking climbing, any kind of thing that you're doing, whatever it is whatever sport you're doing out there, you're shit in the beginning because you're weak. You need to get strong at doing it, okay? That means you need to practice at it. Da.
Witness him carrying the bull around on his shoulders, a fully grown bull.
Yeah, a bunch of people that were busy working, feeding themselves and doing things, witness some guy, some retard, walking around with a bull on his back. And they're like, yeah, okay. Man, you don't think that's kind of fucking odd?
He became a legend that was written about through history and has been even in artwork and everything for thousands of years.
I don't know that. They might have made it up. Who knows? Maybe it's true. Maybe it's fake.
He really, it made him famous. He is a legend still today because of this. But more importantly, let's side aside.
Let me get this straight. Some dude is a legend because he picked up a baby calf and walked around with it on his back. Maybe in the beginning, the baby calves, he had to carry them, maybe to market. Maybe that's how it started. He carried these baby bulls to market or something. He had to carry them. Who knows? Maybe that's how the legend started. And then it turned out to be like, okay, they grew up and he was still carrying them. Who the hell knows, man? Then they'll say, well, he got strong at carrying them because eventually your body adapts by giving you this artificial strength. And then you adapt to carrying heavier and heavier bulls. Okay. Yes.
Aside the feat of strength and the spectacle that it probably was, because I imagine that was...
That's not a feat of strength. A feat of strength is somebody that can naturally lift a fucking 500 or 600 pound bull off the floor. Now that's a feat of strength, okay?
It was quite a thing for people to behold, especially in a world where most people aren't strength training.
That's why nobody's special in this world. All the people that practice strength and everything, they see them online. They're nothing special. What is special is if you see somebody natural that can lift a car. Now that's amazing. You understand me? But no human, I've never seen a human lift a car. I've never seen a human that could lift, a natural human that could lift a car and without practicing.
And you don't have Olympics and Olympic lifting and strongman and powerlifting for you to see on TV or on the internet. To see a man carrying around a fully grown bull was probably quite the scene.
Yeah, but I seen a tiger pull 10 guys, 10 big, huge, massive power lifters with a rope. One tiger can pull 10 guys. So what does that say? And the lion didn't practice at it. No, that's a feat of strength.
But it made him the father of progressive overload.
Yeah, I seen an elephant fucking knock down trees. Like literally, like uproot them, knock down trees, like massive trees and shit. I seen them lift up trucks with tourists in it. Understand? I seen all kinds of animals do feats of strength that you can't even imagine, and it's not based on practice strength.
Because he documented as a famous athlete and wrestler at the time.
He did he?
That progressive overload works.
No, really? A gravitational loading doesn't make you better at lifting a heavy weight? He documented it? No kidding, man. If you gravitationally load anything on your body, guess what's going to happen? It's going to move the opposite direction. It's going to cause an adaptation in what? Energy receptor, the strength, the motor units. Yeah, chemical strength.
Because in the modern world we have studied these things, and we've studied progressive overload in larger populations and in the lab and in athletes and everything else, that when we look...
Oh man, dude, I've tried all these things. Look, if you want to do what Milo did, then go walk with like a ton of weight on your back, all right? And walk for miles down your neighborhood and watch the people laugh at you. You can either carry buckets of shit, or carry these buckets on your back, all right, and walk around, see what happens, and find out what happens. See if this so-called progressive overload works exactly. If it's going to build you myofibrillar growth or anything like that, or what type of growth it's going to build you, and how strong you're going to become at doing that, all right? And if it does make you strong, then go away from it for a while. Go away for a couple of months or a year from doing that. And then after a year later, come back and see if you could do it again. All right, see if you can lift that massive bull or whatever, that shit on your back, or those buckets and walk around with them. If this actually builds real strength, okay, and real muscle, then you should come back in a year. You should be able to take off a year and come back, and you should be able to mimic that same shit again. But if it doesn't, if the weight or the mass or whatever you got there goes away and you can't lift it, then it was fake to begin with. Get it, dude?
Historians look back at it, and experts look at it, they go, it actually probably is true, because it would have worked.
If you're asking me what builds up your natural strength, myofibrillar growth builds up natural strength. But your body doesn't allow you to build more myofibrillars because it's based on an adaptation system, okay? It's really hard to build myofibrillars. That would be the best thing to focus on, is to build more myofibrillars. And everything else, then after you build enough of them, you come to a level where you feel you're comfortable, you stop. And then you could go away for a year, come back, and you can still lift the same weight, though, dude. Get it? You'll still have that natural strength. It'll be there because it's based on myofibrillar growth. It isn't based on androgen receptor chemical strength and these motor units. Phony strength. Get it? Progressive bullshit overload.
So many of these ideas that we have today about progressive overload go all the way back to Milo carrying around this bull.
Yeah, he was an idiot. Get it? He was stupid.
For a couple of years as he got bigger on his back. And
he was a stupid idiot. That's what he was. A stupid fucking idiot.
Is the documentation, the first documented account of progressive overload at work as an experiment. All right, guys, but the
man... Oh, the first one, progressive overload, worked. Yeah, gravitational loading and unloading. Here's the thing. What happens if you have a gravitational unloading? What happens when you go in and you lay in a hospital bed? There's a gravitational unloading, right? What happens? You lose myonuclei, the energy source inside your muscles The ones that create the mass on your myofibrillar, you lose them. They go away. And guess what? That they call that myonuclear, fucking whatever, gravitational unloading. So what happens to your strength? It goes away too. Your strength will go away. Get it? A whole bunch of stuff will happen. Okay. Now let's talk about gravitational loading. Let's load a whole bunch of weight on our body and walk around with it. What's going to happen? Well, you're going to expand somewhat because of the gravitational loading. You should expand. You should expand, yes. And then what else happens? A bit. You should expand a bit. What else happens? You get this chemical strength. The chemical strength comes. The androgen receptors, whatever, It's an adaptation process, okay. But is it based on getting more myofibrillars? No, it's not. See what I mean? It's not based on creating more natural strength. So whatever.
That's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
He thinks this bullshit's so informative. He thinks this is special. Somebody walking around with a bull on their back. Well, he's an idiot. See you in the next one, friends. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one.